Sometimes the biggest spiritual upgrade comes from you walking away. Not because you don't love them, people, places, or things, but because you're finally choosing and learning to love yourself, right? You're relearning how to choose yourself. You're really really relearning how to love yourself. You're relearning how to put yourself first. You're relearning what that looks like, what that feels like. A part of you have been missing in action. A part of you have been missing in your life. And that's because you've been showing up in different ways, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, through service, through love, through care, whatever it is for others. And you haven't been doing that for yourself, or you've been getting the short end of the stick, or whatever you've been receiving is not really in exact alignment with what you've been given out, to be honest. And that's okay. That's because that's a good thing though, because you're learning what you do want from what you don't want, right? I think it's so funny that people always love to say or ask the question or say the statement, a lot of people don't know what they want. When really, I think a lot of people know what they want because they know exactly what they don't want. So if you know what you don't want, you automatically can pretty much make a list of do's and don'ts, what I want and what I don't want. And you'll see very clearly what it is that you do want from the list that you do not want. Okay. I pulled some cards on myself today, and what came out really hit me, and it inspired me to do this video here today. All right, because I think it'll be very supportive for you and for many others that feel maybe a little bit disempowered. You're not understanding exactly why you feel stuck, or maybe you're not seeing that you're still tied subconsciously to the past, to people, places, things, environments, because there's a big deep part of you that feels like as you move forward, maybe you feel like you want people to come with you, but that's not going to happen because you have to evolve, you have to shift, you have to let go of not necessarily people, places, and things, but of you, of your patterns, your habits, your behaviors. You're letting go of the person that you've been operating as that's not supporting your future. You have to let go of those habits, those thoughts, those patterns, those beliefs. And unfortunately, what I also realize is that it's not necessarily your perspective or your ideologies, it's just the titles that were connected to that has to shift. It's kind of like you have all these gifts and you're in this job, but it's not growing, it's not seen, it's not appreciated, you're not evolving. It's not necessarily you need to change your gifts, you need to be in another job. You need to possibly create your own lane. It's not that this relationship, if it's a romantic relationship, that it's not necessarily, the relationship, it's falling apart or this person needs to change. No, this person could stay exactly as they are. You get to find and attract what is for you. You get to be in a relationship that is working for you. And it's not to say this person is bad or negative or evil or they did something wrong. Maybe nothing happened. However, just because it's good, it doesn't mean it's good for you. Just because this person is a great person, it doesn't mean it's your person. This is a big difference. Huge difference. Some of the confusion and anxiety and jealousy and emotional tensions that I saw was in my nervous system, I realized wasn't even mine. So maybe you're realizing that too, right? You're realizing a lot of those confusions, anxiety, energy that you were feeling. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, somebody always thinks somebody's jealous of them. No, it's like your nervous system is heightened to some discomfort. And sometimes that is what's happening subconsciously in the hidden realms. And it's not easily talked about in many others when it comes to psychotherapy and stuff like that, because the main thing is for you to take control over yourself. The main thing is for you to take control over your own nervous system. It's self-empowerment from that perspective. But self-empowerment doesn't mean being delusional to things that are happening in the hidden and the unseen either, especially if you're walking a certain path. Not everyone has the same path of becoming spiritually aware of their environment, of their gifts, of their life lessons, of their life purpose. I don't know how many people that are possibly living their life not according to their life purpose. When you could do something as simple, if you're interested, as looking up your life path number, if you're a little bit confused, or even digging deep, asking your heart, what is it that you really want to create in this life? What will fulfill you? And not cars, not homes, not mansions, not more trips. Those are great additions. right? To your life, to your legacy. Those are beautiful. I definitely want those. Who wouldn't want to travel all over the world and to, of course. However, at the end of the day, what's the one thing that you're going to say, man, my life was worth it because I fulfilled this, you know? And this may be something that you never said out loud. It may be something that you never really expressed to anyone out loud, maybe one or two people, right? Maybe you don't even know what that is. So it could have been other people's energy, family, friends, lovers, partners, your community, your environment that made you feel uncomfortable to evolve. So you can't evolve because you're taking in other people's energy. You're not even being your own unique self. You're not even being yourself. You don't even know what that looks like because your energy, your nervous system is so heightened. You're either in fight, flight, freeze, fawn, constantly feeling like you're being chased. And maybe some of you were. Some of you possibly even were gang stalked. I know I was. And either if people want to believe that or not, that's your truth. Of course, people wouldn't want you to speak your truth, but that's your truth, right? But when you move away, you get to be still enough to be back in your energy. You get to be still enough to regulate your emotions, regulate your nervous system to see what the problem was. And trust me, baby, okay, when you pause and you move away from all the confusion, you move away from all the noise, you're doing it from a space of love, right? Boy, are you going to see some truth, okay? You're going to see some truth. You're going to see some things that you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize it was this person. I didn't even realize it was this thing. I didn't even realize it was this habit. Where did I get this belief from? Why do I feel this way? You're going to realize so much when you could give yourself the gift of the sacred pause, for real, okay? It's not that people are bad. It's just that you're now learning to really know who you are and what it is that you need for yourself, right? When you're in Empress energy, if you're in a creative path, right? You're following your creative path. You're wanting to know who you are. You're wanting to know what your purpose is, and source is elevating you. Not everyone is ready to grow with you. Not everyone can go with you, for real. Like, they're not ready to grow. A lot of people are not even. Some people will be like, well, so many people are further along than you. They have houses and family and money and all of this, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. And that's great. That's all beautiful things, but they don't even know their purpose. Some people, they're really like trying to get the bag to have the best Birkin bags. Some people are working, busting their ass off to get a bag so they can look good on Instagram. Some people don't even know what their life purpose is. Some people don't even know what their spirit, their soul came here to actually learn and to evolve, so they don't come back and try to do it again. Okay. And I think it's because a lot of people you could get stuck in the Eight of Swords energy. Eight of Swords is like just being in your head too much, overloaded, feeling afraid, feeling fearful of losing people and places and things if you don't leave, right? Family, oh, they're not going to talk to you if you don't leave. I mean, if you leave, if you go and go to your own route, take your own path. And it's like, well, they do it all the time. People do it all the time. They're choosing their life, but you just can't do it. Why? You are the one that can't do it. Why are you the one that can't leave, that can't, why is your environment have such a strong hold on you? Maybe it's also a belief. And that's the belief that needs to be shattered, but you need to be away. You need to be able to bet on yourself, and to be around people that's going to support that and celebrate that and be like, hey, I see you. Just the other day, I had someone reach out to me like, yo, I see you, you're doing it. I'm proud of you. And that really meant a lot to me. Not that it validated anything for me outside of myself, because I was already validating myself, but it was respectful. It was kind. It was, nobody has to say anything. As you can see, a lot of people will not say anything. So you get to do that and show up for yourself, right? Maybe you're fearing, will they judge me? Will I be abandoned by them? What if I lose my support system, if you had any, right? What if they think I've changed? All those things will happen, okay? Because here's the truth. You didn't walk away to leave people behind. You walked away to see clearly. And when you did, the fog lifted up because you could actually truly see yourself. You could see what was going on, what was missing. You could see why things weren't evolving for you. You could see what was being kept hidden, what was holding you back, right? Because now your soul can actually breathe again. You can actually see the direction of where you need to go. You could see the habits that you had to release. because now you get to be in your own energy. You're not bombarded by other people's energy. All right, so I'm gonna give you, we, the universe, source, all of us, and you're on here too. So forget it. I'm gonna say we, 3 practical high vibration actions that you can do today, okay? And stay tuned because the last one is also very important. All right, number 1, daily energy unhooking ritual. When you finally decide to take a leap of faith and bet on yourself and possibly move away from an environment, people, places, and things. And maybe it was very challenging. I'm not saying, again, nobody's bad. You just had to do this for you to grow, for you to evolve, right? But when you finally do this, daily energy unhooking rituals, every morning or every night, or maybe even during the day, you always want to affirm and declare and use the power of your throat chakra and say, I release anything that is not mine and I call back my energy. Say it in your own perfect way. Say it with your own words. I release anything that is not mine. I call back my energy. I release anybody else's energy. I transmute all negative energy. Whatever it is that you need to say it daily. And say it out loud. Light a flame and say it out loud. I would even add like scripting it down, okay? Or even burning it in the flame of the fire of what you're releasing, because fire represents transformation. Using the elements that you have available to you is a powerful tool. Because this is really going to tackle in the subconscious mind, just to be able to see your mind, body, and spirit source, everything as a whole is seeing the actions, the rituals that you're putting in to release something. And it may be something that you may have to do over a few course of a few times, right? You may want to do it over the full moon. Full moon is about releasing. You may want to do it around the new moon. New moon is about creating some type of new intentions, right? By releasing the old, or just figure out what works best for you. But always do a daily energy unhooking. And you could do this in many ways. You could also add a spiritual salt bath. I don't know how many salt baths I used to take. I miss my tub. I don't have a tub, okay? Like, this, can y'all see that? That's okay. I got a whole shower. In Ghana, it's a standing shower. And I'm grateful. I have running water, pure from the borehole. I'm grateful. But boy, do I miss a tub, okay? I just know I'm manifesting a tub, all right? Help your sister manifest a big tub, brand new, that I could soak in, because I miss my baths, all right? Right now I'm doing bucket baths, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with doing bucket baths. You know, I get to, because during winter season, during rainy season, because there's no winter season, there's either dry or rainy season. It gets cold. It gets really cold. It gets like cold as in like 60 degrees. Listen, after being in the 90s, 60 is pretty nippy, especially at night and it's windy. Listen, the pipes are cold, so the water is cold. So I enjoy boiling my water and putting it in the bucket and having a bucket bath. It's soothing. All right. But daily energetical unhooking is going to support you whenever you feel like just a little stuck energetically, especially after you know, because you're going to process grief. You're going to process a loss. You're going to process, did I make the right choice? You're going to process all these things. These are all doubts and fears leaving your system, because that's what you were operating with. You couldn't see clearly and you can't move forward if that is what's attached to you. All right. So daily unhooking rituals, energy unhooking rituals. Number 2, you want to reconnect to your Empress identity. All right. Bang. All right. Reconnect to your Empress identity. The Empress is all about creating, being able to create. The Empress is someone that is like all the queens in the deck. You're able to create. You've experienced a lot. You have a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of love to give. You know how to equally receive and give love. The Empress is like having a very a nourishing soil. Whatever seed that she plants, and this is just the energy, whatever seed that you plant, man or woman watching this, you get to create from that. It's always gonna grow. You know the saying, whatever I touch turns to gold. All of that. Reconnect with that Empress identity, because the last identity you were in, it was serving others. And now you get to realize you get to serve source. You get to serve the universe. You get to serve others in a way where you're serving yourself first. You're pouring into yourself first. All right. Ace of Pentacles, planting that nice godly seed and energy that was given into you when you were, because a lot of you have some type of ability to create. And you will get people that are jealous of that, because while you over here having like 10 ideas, either if they popped off and became something that made you a millionaire or not, other people are like either trying to take those ideas. Maybe you dropped one, you put one down after like 5, 6, 7 years, and now you see other people are doing it. Or you just, they just feel like they don't have any creative energy. But that's because they're too busy trying to take it from you, right? Everyone has the ability. I believe everyone has the ability to tap into creativity if they can honor and harmonize that energy within themselves, if they can connect with source instead of trying to steal and copy and destroy and blah, 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 all the negativity, right? Like working and doing the shadow work within themselves, doing the work. You've done the work, right? So you want to reconnect with your Empress energy. You could journal, you could dance, you could draw, you could paint, meditate, you could dress nicely, you could go and touch the earth, go ground, go to the ocean, go to the beach. You can create new clothes, new ideas, whatever. You can cook, find creative ways to express yourself, because you've been in survival mode. You've been in survival mode. You're constantly now breaking away from being in survival mode so that you're free. Your soul is free to create. This is going to remind your spirit that you left to grow, not to shrink, right? Because when you're in that energy, you're shrinking. If you're constantly overgiving, you have a whole bunch of fogginess around you, conflict, energy, competition, things are not moving, things are not growing. You need to move out of this environment, out of this relationship, out of people pleasing, out of overgiving, all of fears, doubt. You got to move away from that, right? And these are some things that you can do to move away from that on a daily, over time. Your life will completely change. Trust when I tell you, your environment will change. Okay. Now, number three, you want to build a new soul family frequency. You build a new, this is when you call in your tribe, you call in your soul family, right? You're calling people that are supportive to you, people that are emotionally safe to connect with, people that are going to celebrate you, people that celebrate your growth. They celebrate what you're creating, right? People are celebrating your future, not your past. People are not holding your past against you. Oh, you did this, so you think you better? No. Cut it out. Remember that? Cut it out. Damn, where was that from? Oh my gosh, that was so long ago. Cut it out. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm also seeing? Borat. Remember Borat was like, get him out of here. That's what I'm seeing. Like, get him out of here. It's so funny. Why am I saying that? You're cutting that out because you're building a new soul family, and you're doing that energetically from within first to radiate that outside of you. So that's shifting your nervous system. When you start to change that, and now here's going to come the test, because now as you're clearing that and you're getting new friends, you're getting new people, you're getting your tribe, right? Even some people from the past might be reaching out to you that are actually supportive of you, or maybe they feared, they didn't stand behind you, or they didn't stand in their own lives, but you're inspiring them, or whatever it is, right? Because things are happening in the back end that you have no idea, but trust that it is. Even though you're going through that, the test is going to be, can your new nervous system create new habits, new actions? Can you show up differently now? Because before, this is how you were showing up: in fear, in fight or flight, or you froze, or you didn't know how to speak up for yourself, or you were overgiving, or you felt like you were going to lose somebody, so you shut your mouth. You didn't say too much. You didn't want to ruffle feathers. Can you withdraw from operating? So I'm sorry, it disconnected, so I had to wait patiently. I was just like, okay, I'll just wait. The internet shut it down and it came back on. Anyway, can you do something different now when you're in a new connection and this person doesn't respond to you? Are you gonna start feeling fearful? You're gonna be afraid to lose them and not say something? Or are you gonna express yourself honestly and say how you feel? Are you gonna be vulnerable and truthful and speak up for yourself? Right? When a friend actually want to support you and help you, can you see that if they show up in a certain way, it's not for you to take it personally, it's actually for you to transmute that energy, right? To look at it like, all right, I'm not going to take this personally. I'm still going to be my loving, kind self. I'm going to provide grace, but I'm also not going to lose myself in this connection. I'm not going to also take on anybody else's projections. Right? Can you be responsible with that energy, with that new lesson, with the new habits, with the new ideas? You're always going to be tested. You're always going to be tested. And then more and more new opportunities going to come to you until you feel more comfortable in the skin that you're in, the person that you are becoming. Because a lot of us may also be working through fear of becoming who we always were meant to be, this empress energy, this beautiful, creative, powerful energy that is meant to share new seeds, meant to have amazing, powerful connections, meant to shift your community, your environment, your world, right? And when I mean your world, I mean like your life, your world, where you get to inspire the world as well. Okay, this is the universe replacing what you're releasing with things that are more in alignment with you. Okay, so it hurts when you realize you have to love people from a distance. And you probably didn't realize that. Now, maybe you saw it. I'm not gonna lie. I saw a lot of people talking about this as something that they were doing from a long time ago, like over 20 years ago. And I'm like, man, how could you move away from this and that and that? I didn't understand it. I thought it was just so insensitive. And then after going through so many things back to back and seeing like, oh, okay, I see the importance of moving from an environment, moving from a relationship, moving away from this. I see the importance of it. You need to grow. You are constantly going to be tested to evolve, and you can't miss the mark. This is something I was saying also. Let's say like at a certain age, you came into this life, and at a certain age, you're supposed to be, let's say at 38, right? You're supposed to be here doing this with these people, meeting this person, doing this kind of work. And you're like 34. And you haven't gone enough through experiences, or you've been through so many experiences, but you're not learning the lesson. You're gonna go through a period where, like, literally the way that I saw it was like you see how it takes you 12 years to go from grade 1 to 12th grade to graduate high school. You will go through 12 years of lessons and experiences in 2 years, maybe 3 years, or in 1 year. Until you celebrate. Y'all saw that balloon? I don't know if y'all saw all the balloons just now. Until you can celebrate and graduate and then pass. You will pass all of those lessons, but could you imagine how heavy you will feel afterwards? You will be tired, energetically drained. Trust and believe me. Okay, because I gone through it. You will be tired and drained. It's like, oh, spirit source, they're like, oh, we need to speed this up. So sorry, but not sorry. You're gonna have to go through 20 heartbreaks. You're gonna have to go through 10 frogs. You're gonna have to go through overgiving, overshare. You're gonna have to go through all of this. 12 years of lessons in the next 3 years, 4 years, because you haven't learned, or maybe some things were hidden to you. Some things weren't fair, granted, but some things you just weren't learning. You couldn't get. You probably your life is gonna look different from a lot of people. So hold on, because this is gonna be your path, and it is what it is. However, you're gonna pass though, but you literally went through 12 years of lessons in a matter of 2 years. So don't ever think that you're not an empress energy. Don't ever think you're not a powerful being. Don't ever think. I feel like the people that goes through the most, they're the strongest. They're the most creative. They have something to share. They have something, even if it's just a drawing, even if it's just their voice, even if it's, and that's if you're singing, you're speaking like this, or sharing your experiences. I feel like you have a lot of power within you that shifts realities off of your experiences. And now you're probably thinking, man, I went through a lot. Yeah, the crown is heavy. The crown is definitely heavy, but it's worth it. And it's best in your hands. It's going to be best in your hands because you've gone through enough. You have enough compassion. I said compassion. You have enough compassion. You have enough awareness. You have enough knowledge. You have enough experience to transmute what you've gone through into positivity, and to know never to take it personally, not to hold anybody else, not to have resentment over anyone else. Don't hold it against anyone else's head, but to know that this was a lesson. This was for me. I needed to evolve. Okay, so it does hurt when you realize that you have to leave certain people in the distance, of course, but peace is cheaper than staying stuck, right? Peace is definitely cheaper than staying stuck. Trust and believe. And when you choose yourself, this is your nervous system. Your nervous system, your creativity, and your soul will finally get to bloom. You'll finally be able to express yourself with ease, with peace, because there's only space for that left. There isn't any more space for nonsense, for illusions, for confusions, for anything happening in the hidden, in the unseen realms that is affecting you, because it's not around you. It's not around you, and you can release and be compassionate, because just like how you had to go through your things, you understand that other people got to go through what they got to go through themselves as well. But that's not your burden to carry. You've already carried too many burdens, other people's burdens, your burdens, emotionally, mentally, energetically, generationally. It's a wrap. Now it's time for you to choose yourself. All right. So subscribe if you're choosing this season to be yourself. Subscribe if you're choosing yourself this season. Okay. This is a lot of what we're going to be doing on this channel. If this message speaks to you this season, also, my readings are available. The description link, I'll put the link in the description box for you to get that reading for yourself. Okay. If it definitely resonates with you. And then also tell me in the comments what shifted for you when you finally stepped away, when you finally have moved away from your environment, from a certain way of thinking, maybe a group of people. And if you haven't yet, maybe you're finding it challenging or difficult for you to, I just want you to sit down with yourself and ask yourself, where is it that you want to be? And see who's there, right? And then also see, how do they get there? Ask yourself, how do you want to get there? What do you need to do to get there? And just do it. You don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to worry about your immediate environment. Focus on where you want to be and start implementing. Like when I was 205 pounds, I know I wanted to be fit. Okay, what's one thing that I can do? It's not necessarily, oh, I got to move away from here or do this different. No, just go to the gym, eat a little bit healthier. When I went to the gym, I met another person. They also was working out. We started working out together. Then we met some bodybuilders. Now I'm working out with bodybuilders. I'm learning from bodybuilders. I'm connecting with nutritionists. It just starts to roll on because you made the decision to choose yourself. Next thing you know, 5 years, 10 years later, you are super fit. You're running triathlons. You're around a whole bunch of positive, vibing people just like yourself. And you kind of moved away from your old environment, from the old people, places, and things. And of course, there's grief and sadness for that loss. And maybe someone probably came with you because they wanted to get fit too. But it's going to change. And you're meant to evolve. And you're worthy of that. And that's okay. All right. Don't ever feel less than because you're choosing yourself. You get to feel empowered because you're choosing yourself. So I definitely trust that this video supports you on your journey. Go and watch this video next because I feel like it'll be supportive for you on your journey. And I'll see you there. Peace out.